Last month, McDonald's launched a new brand named Cosmic.
In the making in suburban Chicago. Its name, Cosmix. A new venture McDonald's CEO announced on a July earnings call, promising it will have all the DNA of McDonald's, but its own unique personality, adding they'll test it in a small handful of sites in a limited geography beginning early next year.
Being the old bitter person I've grown to become, I originally ignored the story until Food Theory released a video on this.
Cosmix is gunning for the fast beverage market, producing a slate of complex drinks like tropical spiceade with pre-workout, churro-flavored frappes, blueberry ginger boost with boba popping bubbles. These aren't your...
That's right, you heard correctly. Cosmic will be selling popping boba, chai, churros, milkshakes, coffee, energy shots, teas. Now then, the question is, what does this mean for, the whole brand? Is McDonald's trying to become a new bubble tea franchise? Or are they just using a gimmick to capture the attention of Gen Zs and our dwindling attention span? Well, let's go ahead and take a shallow dive into this. But before we do that, I do want to touch on a few things from Food Theory's video.
President Chris Kempczinski has publicly stated that the fast beverage space is one McDonald's has the right to win.
So McDonald's president Chris Kempczinski says that they have the right to win the casual dining industry. I don't know about you all. This has so many red flags. It reminds me of Manifest Destiny and imperialism. So I don't know about you all, but this is definitely not the kind of cat I want to be locked up with by myself. Please, if you're ever in the room and you're with this dude, just run away. Just run away from homeboy. All right, next I want to touch on is this one.
Ruin one big brand with one small experiment. So what do? You create a sub-brand.
All right, so I'm going to be slightly nitpicky when it comes to sub-branding. So the example that they're using here about the hotel chains, they're sub-brands only because there's some form of nod to the parent company. If let's say the Super 8 Travelodge did not have like by Wyndham on it, then you could just argue that they're completely own brand. With sub-branding, there should be some form of, nod to the parent company. So if you look at the Cosmic logo, it gives a nod to the McDonald's, and it also tells a story that was once discarded from McDonald's. So with sub-brands, just think of it more as a spin-off rather than, a completely separate, different voice. Another example would be La Quinta, which theoretically could stand off as its own brand, as most of the branding that it has does not reflect of the Wyndham. You know that's part of it, but without it saying by the Wyndham or any form of reflection about it, especially if you go through the about history. This one, I believe La Quinta doesn't have Wyndham listed under it as the about. But those are just like some of the nuances that I would say you should pay attention to when it becomes a sub-branding. One thing I got excited about from Food Theory's video was the implementation of Bard, that is the Google's AI assistant, and automation. So although the video didn't outright state that Bard was going to be the AI that Google will be implementing, it's safe to assume that as Bard is like the only AI product that they have created thus far. Now, of course, they might have to create a slightly different one or maybe alter Bard a little bit for Cosmic's needs, but it's still pretty exciting to do that. So if you're not familiar with Bard, they honestly just haven't had the same popularity compared to ChatGPT, but you could go check out Marquis' video. He did one a few years back talking about, the nuances that Bard can do. However, I am highly underwhelmed by the automation as they seem to have projected a more, futuristic look. I was hoping that I would see Wally and Eva come out and just shake a bunch of drinks and pour into the cups. But unfortunately, I don't think we're living that futuristic world yet. Who knows, maybe they'll at least hire those robotic dogs to do backflips in the kitchen. Alright, now let's go ahead and check out the Cosmic menu. They touted there is unlimited variations of their concoctions. However, there are more limitations than originally anticipated. When scrolling through their menu options, it looks like they only serve like popping boba at the moment, so no jelly or beans or tapioca pearls or any of the other fun little bits. They will offer some like dry foods, but I think that's about it. The website doesn't say what kind of popping boba they will be serving, so I guess we'll just have to wait. You can select any fruit drinks and add syrups and energy shots, but it looks like they opt out of allowing popping boba in some of their blended drinks and soda. I'm not exactly sure why they chose to opt out of this, but who knows. Also, it doesn't seem like they allow all of their drinks to have a shot of espresso. So bad news for those who want a blackberry mint green tea with a shot of espresso. For their milkshakes, for some odd reason, they seem to have left out the popping boba, but allowed popping candy. I'm really curious to see what the logic is in that, because it's a milkshake. You could put popping boba in it. It'll taste great. Like their strawberry milkshake with strawberry pop boba. That's something you could get at my shop. But that one to me is, I feel like it's a no-brainer. I think that would be really great. So not sure why they did not do that. To be clear, I have no vested interest in whether or not McDonald's succeed in the fast beverage industry. I just thought it would be something interesting to keep an eye out, especially if they start making, more boba tea drinks, and see if they want to stick in this space. I am slightly disappointed that it's not as customizable as we expected. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of options on there. It's just I kind of expected a little bit more from this. Even though currently they're not a boba tea brand, that doesn't mean they can't do it down the road. I am curious whether or not they're actually going to keep the popping boba. Because if y'all remember, Wawa did something similar where they implemented the popping boba in a lot of their locations. And I believe somewhere around 2021, 2022, they just scrapped the entire idea and they started taking off their menu. There could be some locations out there that still have it, but I know in the areas I'm in, they don't have the popping boba in any of their menu. I remember in 2021, 2022, a customer of mine who works at Wawa, she came in with all these bags of popping boba and asked if I wanted it. Originally, I was just going to say no, but she mentioned that they would just have to toss it out because they're not serving popping boba anymore. I was like, really? That's interesting, because when they released it, it wasn't that long. Or in my opinion, it wasn't that long. Maybe they did a little bit longer. She gave it to me, and I was like, all right, sure, whatever. I had to help a lot of my customers cut open a hole into their cups, because I absentmindedly forgotten that Wawa doesn't have a cup sealer. So all the straws that they have do not have the pointy end. So because why would they? They have dome lids. So of course you don't need to stab it. That's the whole point of having pointy straw on the cup sealer, because we use the sealing film. So yeah, made a few messes here and there because I completely forgot about that. If you are in Chicago or Boston or any other of the locations that Cosmic has open, have you tried it? How is it? Is the popping boba really popping? So yeah, please comment below and let me know your experience with it. And if you have not tried it, would you go try it? I know I, for one, would not travel all the way out there just for a fast food chain. But if one popped up somewhere in my vicinity, sure, I'll go give it a shot. If you found this video fun, entertaining, or insightful, please comment below and hit that like and subscribe. I love y'all. Bye.